So real quick, fellas, I was presented with a question last night from a young woman and from a young lady, and we were talking about this at length. And I evolved a little bit on this question that I'm about to put you on to, but I'm also gonna show you guys how to handle this. It's right. This is manna from on high. God fed the children of Israel manna from on high, food from on high. This is wisdom from on high. This came divinely. This fell out of the skies. Now the question is this: like, how do I feel about a female or a woman, my woman particularly speaking, having a male friend? All right, I used to be very archaic, meaning I was very caveman thinking in it. No, like I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about another guy. It's part of my primitive nature, right? But I've evolved. I have evolved, right? I've evolved because that's what life is, growth, right? So I've evolved, but I've evolved with a whole lot of wisdom on it, though, fellas. So if you're under the sound of my voice, tweak your ears and listen carefully. If you're in a relationship with somebody, or you meet somebody and you guys are getting to know each other, obviously they have a history, you have a history, you know, you guys are in I'm 42, so you're meeting someone in the same age range. So, you know, people got lives, evolution, right? This is the evolving, right? You got to think like that, right? But here's what's interesting. If you with your woman and she got a male friend and she wants you to meet him, she's honest with you, fellas. She's like, yo, you can meet him, blah, 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 ain't nothing, yada. That's cool. That's okay. Now, in algebra, there's a rule for algebra, and the rule states that what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the next in order to maintain equilibrium. This is mathematics, right? That's just the rule of one of the many multiple rules of algebra. What you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other. This way, there's equilibrium in outcome and input, output, whatever, right? So let's apply that rule here to this in this context. If my woman wants me to meet her male friend, so let's look at this thing. Let's really contort this. Let's decipher this. My woman wants me to meet a male dude, a male friend. Okay, how do we? Okay, okay. So peep game. What you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other to maintain equilibrium. I'm giving you wisdom here, fellas. So now the logical and clever, witty mental acuity that you should employ is this on your woman. If you want me to meet him, so he's meeting your spouse, which is me, I should be able to meet his spouse, which is her, whoever she is. And if he's gay, whatever. His spouse, if he's got his spouse as a dude, whatever. That's what he's into, that's what he's into. But if he gets to meet your spouse, shouldn't I get to meet his spouse? This is algebra, fellas. I'm putting you up on game. I'm putting you up on game. Let me tell you something. A lot of women don't like this kind of talk right here. They don't want to hear this. This is too clever. This is too witty. This is too thought out and thoughtful. They don't want to hear this. You know, they'd rather hear me yell, scream, cuss, and curse them out. Right? That gets the juices flowing. But this right here, this intimidating kind of stuff. This intimidates them. So, okay, I'm like, all right, so you want me to meet homeboy? Okay, I want to meet his girl, his wife, his other half. Then here comes, sometimes you might get met with this, well, he don't have a partner. He's not in a relationship. Okay. The stock value for that friendship just decreased. It depreciated exponentially at an alarming rate. But I'm still not going to tar and feather you yet, young lady, because I'm rocking with you. We rocking together. So I'm not going to tar and feather you yet, but understand this comprehensively and wellly. Wellly is not a word, but I like the way it sounds in this context. Understand this, that the stock value of that friendship is decreasing at an alarming rate. Right? I'm in the market. I'm in the stock market business for 15 years. If news comes out on a company that is adverse or unfavorable, that stock tends to sell off. It drives the price down exponentially, right? So right now, the news that you're telling me, he doesn't have a partner. He doesn't have a woman. He doesn't have a significant other. He's not courting anybody. He's not in a relationship. The stock value of your friendship has just dropped 10, 15%. But I'm still not going to tar and feather you because, like I said, I have evolved on this conversation. So I'm going to continue. Okay. I'm going to put you on game. Your stock value for the friendship is depreciating, but I'm still with you. All right. I'm still on I ain't off the wagon yet. I'm still on the your friendship wagon. All right. The next thing I'm posing is this. Okay, so he doesn't have a woman, can't meet a woman. All right. Why? You get what I'm saying? I'm going to question that because I'm like, yo, is he gay? No. Okay. Well, I'm 42. I'm with somebody in my 40s. So we're going to keep age range because age is very important here. So you're telling me another man who's in his 40s, right? Ain't got no woman, right? And he's your friend, and I'm supposed to be cool with this, right? And I'm open to it. I'm willing to you got to sell me. In other words, I got to be sold. So my thing is this, fellas, if my next question is, why is a 40-something-year-old man not what's wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would want to know, like, yo, why do he need to be friends with my woman and I can't be friends with his one because he ain't got none? And why is he, like, what's the story? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, that would be my next, like, well, why don't he have a woman? And, you know, again, assuming we're all in our 40s and, well, not everybody's in a relationship, I get that's okay too. That's a good answer. I would receive that. That's true, because not everybody's in relationships and people are still looking and life is hard and it's difficult, and so I could get all of that. Okay, so I'm buying what you're selling. And my finalization would be, okay, I would watch, fellas, here's what you do. Watch for how she behaves around him. If you guys are ever out in a public setting together, watch, do she validate her relationship in front of whoever these friends, the so-called friends are? Watch if she claims I always tell people, this is from my learning experience. It's you, it's your partner, and then there's the relationship. There's three entities that makes a relationship. It's you, the person, and the relationship. The relationship is its own entity. Watch to see if she claims the relationship around who these so-called friends are. Watch to see if she validates the relationship, not you, not her, but the relationship. It's wisdom I'm speaking here. Watch to see if that's validated, if it's claimed in front of these so-called friends. If it's not, run for the hills. If it's not being claimed, if it's not being validated in front of these so-called friends, run for the hills. Because, man, I've been placed in sometimes I used to ask myself, God, why you put me in so many crazy predicaments with women, right? Again, Samson, right? Like, why have I been placed in so many crazy predicaments with women? Like, why? And now it all makes sense to me because it's like, man, the insights, you know, everybody without exception wears a mask. I don't care who you are. We all have our masks. You know, we all fiend on appearance that we want to sell to the world, right? We all do, without exception. And what God has given me by going through all my various experiences is a keen, sharp, insightful, almost lucid, right, way to see like what others don't, and to see beyond the facade, see beyond the mask. And it makes, like, now it all makes sense why. So I can say, like, you know, if you're up and coming young men out there, like, yo, if you gotta watch, if you're dating a woman, watch how she claims you, the relationship, in front of these so-called friends. If they're not claiming the relationship in front of these dudes or these so-called friends, run for the hills. It's a fact that there's something called subterfuge. Or subterfuge. I like whatever word you want to use. Subterfuge is just trickery, chicanery, deception, manipulation, cunningness, sly, foxy thinking. There's some, outfoxing going on, right? And I'm telling you, again, read the book of Judges, particularly read about Samson and all the women he chose, how they all betrayed him and ultimately led to his demise. Yeah, so I just want to drop that wisdom on y'all. Peace.